Hey everyone, it is me, ShellshockPrime, and I am here once again. This time we have E3 2019 coming to a close. Well, it already came to a close as of this past weekend, and now we have so many great games that have been announced. There were games that were not so great that we've seen, but we had a lot of games that had more cinematic cutscenes and all the footage, no gameplay for most games that was shown off, but there were many that did have gameplay. That said, I'm going to talk about 10 of those games that really interest me the most, since there's not enough time to talk about them. Because E3 as a whole has been a pretty mixed bag this year, though it did get better towards the end once we got to Square Enix and then to Nintendo. But regardless, I'm satisfied with a lot of the games that I've seen. So here we are, my top 10 favorite games of E3 2019. Number 10, Cyberpunk 2077. So I got to see more of Cyberpunk 2077 during Microsoft's E3 press conference, and while they didn't really show off a lot of the gameplay, there were a lot of cool moments that happened. There was a lot of characters that they shown off that killed and got beaten up and all that. But the biggest moment was Keanu Reeves coming in at the end of the trailer, and then during the Microsoft conference, he just shows up. That was really hype right there. The characters in the futuristic cyberpunk setting are very captivating, and I really do like how the music fits the mood very well with the game's theme. We also got a release date of April 16th, 2020, so it's definitely something that a lot of people should check out really soon. So check that one out when it comes out. Number 9, Contra Rogue Corps. Well, back at E3 2011, there was a small teaser at the end of Konami's E3 where you would see a loading screen, and then all of a sudden you see the giant C that you would normally see for the logo. As you can see right here, I'm wearing this Contra shirt right here. You see the C right here. And then it just says, "They're coming." And 8 years later, we now finally get a brand new Contra game, which is called Contra Rogue Corps. So this is like a top-down shooter game, like a top-down run-and-gun game, where you have 4 different characters. You have 4 different types of classic Contra characters. You have, for example, Kaiser, who is a cyborg. You have Miss Harakiri, who is an assassin. You have the Gentleman, who is an alien bug of some sorts, and you have the Hungry Beast, which is a panda, a cyborg panda. I'm actually really excited for that. I love Contra, and when I saw this on the Nintendo Direct, I was screaming in joy because it's been so long since we got the last game was Hard Corps Uprising that came out on PS3 360. And now we're finally getting this. This is a game that's multi-plat, but I'm going to be picking this game up on the Nintendo Switch. I know a lot of people weren't impressed with how the graphics looked and how everything else was looking, like the settings. People said, "Oh, it's just a PS2 game." I don't really get the hate for it. I personally think it looks really good. I'm excited for it. And then right after that, they showed off the Contra Collection, which I got already, and I'm happy for that. But yeah, Contra Rogue Corps, I'm easily excited for that. Can't wait to get that on day one. September 24th, worldwide. It's definitely a big comeback for the series. So yeah, let's go. Number 8, Trials of Mana. The Mana series has a huge history of many different games that span from the 90s up until the 2000s. And most recently, we've gotten the Collection of Mana that came out in Japan last year, as well as a remake of the original Secret of Mana for the PS4 and the PS Vita. Now, the Secret of Mana remake had mixed opinions, mixed reviews, but the collection of Mana, not only that it came out in Japan with the Nintendo Switch, but it's now coming out. Actually, it's out now as we speak on the Nintendo Switch outside of Japan. But that's not the only thing I want to talk about. We're getting a remake of one of the games that's on that collection, Seiken Densetsu 3. which is now known as Trials of Mana. That game was released in 1995 on the Super Famicom and it was never released out here. There have been fan translations, and now we're finally not only getting the actual game from the collection, but also a remake of the game. That one's a multi-plat. That's on Switch, PS4, and PC. But it was left out for whatever reason from the Square Enix Direct, but they put it in the Nintendo Direct, which I think they wanted to do that. So it was like, oh, here's something that you guys did not see at our briefing last night for Square Enix, but this is on the Nintendo Direct. And it was a huge shock. It was a game people wanted. Not just the original, but the remake, and we're getting it. It's another action RPG where you can play with other people, like different characters all together. I've always wanted to play this game. I was very intimidated by how it is. I was kind of like skeptical on playing games that you had to play fan translations of, but still, I can't wait to finally get this. It looks fantastic. Like the characters, setting, like the music. It's built from the ground up, so I can't wait to get this. And it comes out in early 2020, so not too far off, but still something to look forward to. Trials of Mana, like I will definitely get the original one as part of the collection of Mana, so I can get a taste of that, and then get a taste of the remake, which could probably fix some issues that people might have had with the original, even though I heard nothing but great things about the original game. Number 7. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Now, here's the thing. I grew up playing Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening when I was a kid. I played it on the original Game Boy, and it's actually my very first Zelda game I've ever played. And I've enjoyed it. Then it wasn't until when I got my 3DS, and then when I streamed it many years ago, the stream is not up anymore, by the way, of me playing Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Like, it was the DX version, and I finally beat the game, and it's definitely high in my favorite Zelda game of all time list. But what I did not see coming whatsoever was a remake of the game, which was announced at the end of the February Nintendo Direct. Now, and it looked really good because they just opened up with the anime sequence, and then like you see the toy like setting, the toy like animation art stuff of the game. But we got to see more. We got to see the opening cutscene where Marin finds Link at the beach, and Link wakes up to see that he's in a house with Marin and her father Tarin, and then you see like a lot of the familiar faces that you would normally see in Link's Awakening, but they've also added something to it that wasn't in the original, like something completely new for the Switch version. You could be able to make your own dungeons. You'll be able to base any of the dungeons that you make from any of the dungeons that you previously encountered, and you'll be able to share them with people online. That's actually pretty cool. It's like the closest thing you're gonna get to a Zelda Maker for now, but it's gonna scratch that itch. And I can't wait to share some levels. And everything about it just looks great. I even got to play the game myself at Nintendo NY when they had the E3 demos, and I got to play, but I made it out of the forest, and then by the time that I was gonna get ready to get the key to go to the first dungeon, time was up. So, but still, I can't wait to get it. Comes out September 20th. Everything's coming out September. That's the thing about like this year. There's like so many games coming out in July, but more games coming out in September. Like everything's coming too close, and I'm not really prepared for all of that. Still, I can't wait. I can't wait to get this game and relive all my memories in this game once again. So there's collector's editions as well. There's two of them, but there's one in Europe that has the Steelbook Game Boy, which I'm jealous about because, I mean, yes, I can import, but it's the principle of the thing. Still, I'll probably just get the regular edition, but still, I'm definitely excited to play it. Number 6. Panzer Dragoon. I'm really excited for this one Panzer Dragoon. I've always wanted to play this game on the Sega Saturn, but I could never afford it because even back then it was a bit pricey, and then later on it got even more pricey. I remember seeing it for like $200 something on eBay and Amazon, so it was impossible to get. So anyone that was collecting Sega Saturn games, you were going to be out of luck because that is going to be going for a high price. However, now I don't need to worry about that anymore because we're getting a remake of the game and it's going to be coming out this winter. Panzer Dragoon. It's going to be coming out exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. It looks so beautiful. I'm so happy that now like I get to be able to play this game. It's basically like an on-rail shooter where you use your dragons and you shoot stuff. You go through rings. There's definitely a lot more to it than that, but I'm really looking forward to getting Panzer Dragoon and finally playing the full game for the first time. And now it's like this winter for the Switch, easily something I gotta pick up. Number 5. Astral Chain. When I first saw this at the Nintendo Direct back in February, like I didn't really know what to think about it at first until I saw more of the gameplay because it was like it looked like Bayonetta. It looked like an action game. A lot of people mistook for this for being like a Monolith Soft game, whatever, but nope, it's pure Platinum. And I say that as a way of praising them because Platinum makes some pretty top-notch games. We got Hideki Kamiya on board as the supervisor, and we got Takashi Tara, who was the lead designer from Nier Automata, working on this game alone. And I'm really liking how the art style looks. I feel like this second trailer looks a lot better than the first. Like you got these twins teaming up, like these twin cops teaming up and taking out all these like people, like all these creatures coming from another dimension. And there's still more to the story on the game, and I've seen more gameplay, and it looks sick. Coming out August 30th, definitely looking forward to this. Hoping that we get to see even more stuff soon, even though we got a lot of information already from the Treehouse and from the... So yeah, Astral Chain. So we're not going to see Bayonetta this year, but Astral Chain will definitely scratch that itch that you want, like a Platinum action game that you want to play. So August 30th will be when you look forward to that game. Number 4. Luigi's Mansion 3. Now here is a game that has a major improvement from the first time we got to see this. Luigi's Mansion 3. So I still have never played the first Luigi's Mansion game. That's a little guilty secret that I have. But I have played Dark Moon and I enjoyed it. But I do need to go back and play the first Luigi's Mansion game at some point. That said, when I saw Luigi's Mansion 3 announced back in the September Direct last year, I was really hyped. I was really stoked for that. But when we got to see the more information on it, E3, like the new trailer, and we got to see some more gameplay footage of it, I was even more hyped for it than I was before. You're now in a hotel, like Mario, Luigi, Peach, and the red and the blue toads all go to this random hotel for whatever reason, but now Luigi has to save all of them, like they've been captured. And now you basically have the same type of gameplay as the previous game, but now you have new things. You have the suction plunger, which you can use to grapple, and you can be able to slam any of the ghosts with the motion controls or the gyro. I actually kind of like that. Also the A button as well. Not only that, but you also be able to summon like a green goopified Luigi called Gooigi, because Luigi can't get through spikes, but Gooigi can. And it would be good for some puzzle elements. And a second player could take a Joy-Con or another controller so they'll be able to team up with you. So it'd be a little bit more easier, but at the same time, you guys will get the job done when you guys work together. And we also have an online and local co-op, like a local multiplayer Scare Scraper, which is basically the multiplayer mode from Dark Moon, now back in the game. Except now you can do 8 players. You have 4 Luigis and 4 Gooigis in different colors. You have different missions in the Scarescraper, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I played Scarescraper on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I had a great time with it, so I'm definitely going to have a great time playing this one. And I actually got to play the demo as well. As a matter of fact, here is this flashlight that you get for when you play Luigi's Mansion 3. And as you can see right here, like it flashes. And it looks really good. But when I got to play the demo, you had like a small stage you had to get through within the hotel, and you got to face against like this gladiator like boss, and you're in some sort of arena. You have to make sure to flash it as much as you can, and then like when he lets his guard down, then you can be able to attack him. But it was a really good stage. It was a really good like boss fight as well, which made me want more. And I definitely do want more. We don't have an actual release date other than 2019. A lot of people are assuming October, like maybe the Friday before Halloween. So we'll just have to wait and see. So Luigi's Mansion 3 is definitely going to be a game I'm looking forward to. Definitely going to be a game that I'm going to be playing, and it looks really damn good. So that's something to check out. Number 3, Doom Eternal. Record and say I love Doom. Like when Doom came out in 2016, I love that game. But I played the Switch version, which came out a year later, and the fact that the game ran very well on the Switch was one thing, but the game itself was fantastic. Being able to go into space, like a hellish space in Mars, ripping and tearing each and every demon and other types of monsters in sight. It was just mind blowing how much fun I had with that game. And Doom Eternal was teased last year at E3. Then we got to see more information on it on QuakeCon when they showed off some gameplay of it and confirmed that it's coming out on everything, including the Nintendo Switch, day and date. And we got to see more of it on Bethesda's conference. Now, I was not really impressed with Bethesda's conference. I was mainly in it just to see Doom Eternal, and that's what I wanted to see. That's what they ended it with. And oh man, the gameplay for that game, it looks so sick. It's everything that you've liked about Doom, everything you liked about the original game, but now like you're able to have a lot more combat, a lot more a lot more items, a lot more enemies, like new enemies to kill. But we got some enemies that came back from the previous game, and there's going to be twice as many demon types as the one from 2016. And we're gonna be getting like we have some sort of like a grapple hook or some sort that you could be able to use on any of the ledges. So if you want to get from one platform to another, and we also got a new multiplayer mode as well. We're gonna be having this multiplayer mode called Invasion, and there's gonna be a couple other campaigns as well. There's gonna be some new like multiplayer. It's gonna be different from the last game, but still, Doom Eternal looks sick. It comes out November 22nd. I'm definitely hyped for that. Number 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII Remake. So there's a lot to really say about this one. So we got to see this for the first time at E3 2015, and they showed off like how the game looked, and it looked a lot different back then. This was during Sony's E3 conference. A lot of people were hoping to see this, and then when they finally shown it off, everybody was like, there's so many people that were really hyped for it. Not only that, like it was a huge amount of people just saying how like they were excited to see this, and this has been something that they've been wanting to see since even in the PS3 era, and now we're finally getting on PS4. But they left it with no release date, and then there's been radio silence, like no gameplay footage of it, but we've only heard like different like sources saying that they were originally going to be working with CyberConnect 2, and they didn't like what they seen, so they dropped them and started the whole thing from scratch. People thought we were not going to get the game for a long time. No one knew when we were going to get it. Well, a couple months ago, State of Play happened, like the second one, and a lot of people were not expecting anything out of it. People were thinking that it was just going to be kind of, not going to be too much. And then they showed off Final Fantasy VII Remake. A lot of people were blown away. It looked significantly different than how it looked back in 2015 build, and now we have more realistic look for the game, which that's what they were gonna go for anyway. But the art style looks a little more different this time around, but still keeping the realistic look. And it's now an action RPG rather than a straight up turn based RPG. Gone are the turn based stuff that you would normally see. Instead, they were going to go for like the Final Fantasy 13/15 route of the action-based Final Fantasy combat, but they added like the ATB system from 13. You still had the materia that you could equip, and it was just mind blowing just to watch the Midgar section, especially going into the first boss, that giant like red scorpion boss, where it was Cloud and Barrett teaming up to fight it. Got to see some gameplay. They showed off a couple of familiar characters like Tifa and Eris, Sephiroth, like the characters you would expect to see. And the game finally has a release date of March 3rd, 2020. So far, right now, it's only for PlayStation 4. It might go to other platforms. I'm not expecting it to come out to Nintendo Switch, but I do think that it's going to be coming out on PC. So if it does and it goes on Steam, I will be picking it up, and I will definitely be playing this game. I'm currently playing Final Fantasy VII right now on Switch, so hoping to beat that game soon. So by the time you guys watch this, if it's especially ahead of time, I have already beaten this game. But as it is right now on this day of June 16th, 2019, still working on the game. And once I'm done with that, then I'm going to do this. I'm glad I'm doing the original now. Yeah, the remake looks great. Looks beautiful, and easily something that gotta learn more of. So, checking it out soon. Number 1. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. So to anybody that knows me personally, you guys have seen this one coming. Now, I enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I love it so much that I actually consider it to be one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time. But that's a different topic for a different day. But relating to Breath of the Wild itself, I did not expect to see a direct sequel coming out at all, let alone on the Switch. I was expecting another Zelda game at some point using the same engine, that it was not going to be related, but I didn't think they were going to go this direction. We're getting a sequel to Breath of the Wild. So for now, I'm just going to call it Breath of the Wild 2 until we get an official name for it. So it starts off like you see like a little like spirit, some sort of energy just flowing up, and I didn't know what to make of it. People were thinking it was Metroid. People were thinking it was like a Monolith Soft type of game or whatever. You would see like a torch, someone holding onto a torch, and you would see Link and Zelda riding on horses. And that really shocked me. So we got to see Link and Zelda like check out like this inside dungeon. No one knows exactly what type of dungeon it is. And all of a sudden you see a zombified Ganon. And then then you see like a mountain just going up because there was a dungeon inside. And then it just says the sequel to the Breath of the Wild is currently in development. I really think this has been in development for a long time, like since probably like mid to late 2017 when they finished the DLC, and now like here we are. It's not going to come out anytime soon. I'm thinking it's coming out in 2021, but man, nothing that has been announced at E3, in my personal opinion, really got me like the same way that Breath of the Wild did. Holy crap. I can't wait. We're going to get more information when the time comes, but not for a while. So I'm gonna be looking closely at everything about it. So I'm looking forward to this game. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. I can't believe we're finally getting another Zelda game on the Switch, let alone a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. And supposedly it's going to be even more scarier than Majora's Mask, so we're going to have to wait and see on that one. And there you have it. These are my top 10 games of E3 2019. I'm really happy that we're getting these games, whether it be this year, next year, or even beyond. But regardless, there have been, like I said, there have been so many games that I personally was excited for, but again, not enough time to list them all. If there's any games that you were hoping to see on my list that I didn't mention, feel free to comment down below, and feel free to just talk to me about it as well on any social media. You could find me at ShellshockPrime on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. Feel free to follow me on any of those platforms. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch if you like what you see. And thank you guys as always. May you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.